No one has officially declared yet. In fact, Dr. Ben Carson's come as close as anyone. But the 2016 campaign is picking up speed. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush and Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker hitting the ground in New Hampshire. The Granite State holds the first primary in the election season and could be make or break for both men, or for anyone else for that matter. Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron is live in Manchester, New Hampshire with more. And Walker's just getting rolling here, just getting started. How is it going for the governor?
This is his first visit to New Hampshire, Bill, and he is rolling in hard. He plans to have 9 events in the next day and a half here in the Granite State. And we should point out that he's not the only guy who's going to be here, as well as Jeb Bush. Ted Cruz from Texas, as well as Rick Perry from Texas, will both be here. In the case of Walker, he knows that he comes here to Iowa as something of to New Hampshire as something of as a underdog, whereas in Iowa he is the front runner. And being a front runner in New Hampshire is a real problem. Folks tend to put a target on your back. So I talked with him just as he entered the Union Leader newspaper here a few minutes ago, and he is calling himself an underdog, recognizing that too much attention can sometimes be negative. His visit to the Union Leader newspaper, the statewide newspaper here, is symbolic and important. All the candidates do it, but this paper has a history of being pretty tough on Bushes. George H.W. Bush did not win his first primary when he came to New Hampshire in 1980. He was beaten up pretty badly by Pat Buchanan in 1992, and of course George W. Bush lost his primary here in 2000 to John McCain. Scott Walker recognizes that in this visit to the Union Leader and New Hampshire. He's talked about it. He's talked about his understanding of the New Hampshire voters, and Rick Perry did too, recognizing in his case that he didn't come here enough last time and it hurt him. Here's a little from both.
We want to be competitive anywhere. You know, we think we're still the underdog overall when you look at the kind of money that some of our likely primary opponents are going to have. But we're going to make a case directly to the people. If we get in, we're going to fight hard for every vote, be it here in New Hampshire or anywhere else around the country.
What I learned about the people of New Hampshire is they want to see you. They want to see you often. They want to interact with you. They want to ask you questions. And if you don't come often, and I will suggest early, you're going to be at a disadvantage.
All the candidates say the exact same thing about Iowa. Iowa is an unofficial caucus. This is an official election. This is a statewide primary, and many, many more people participate. The stakes are a great deal higher. Jeb Bush, arrives here later this afternoon, and he'll be making stops along the southern tier, and rather small groups trying to sort of reintroduce himself quietly. He is the person who's raising all the money that Scott Walker was talking about. Not a very veiled shot at Jeb Bush for his collections of big bucks, while Scott Walker and others are trying to essentially catch up in the cash and maybe match him in the name recognition.
It's going to be fascinating to follow. Thank you, Carl. We'll be in touch real soon. Carl Cameron.
You bet.
From New Hampshire.